Hi, this is Christina, founder of Sales Symphony, a sales training, coaching and consultancy firm. I've been in sales for 25 years, closing deals from thousands to 100 million, and some of my customers range from SME to Fortune 500 companies across key industries. So today I would like to share with you the top interview tips for salespeople, because I myself have gone through several sales interviews. And some of these key tips you really have to watch out. Number one is not be late. So why is that important? Because your interviewer will know that you are not getting your priorities right. Isn't an interview a very, very important thing? Just like sales meetings with your customers, every client meeting is important. So we have to have the discipline and time management to keep on time. But if for whatever reason you are not able to make it on time, have the courtesy to tell in advance to your interviewer that you will be just late. And no excuses, because, well, perception. You don't want to cast the wrong impression. Point number two, no complaining. Why? Because there will be a typical questions like, why would you want to move on from your current position? So of course, not all of us are happy with the current job. So don't fall into the trap in the complaining mode and start showing negativity about your management, about the product, about the industry, because salespeople are to project positive attitude, right? So take it positively and be objective, be professional, and it's always good to say why you want to move off is for career progression, and it's because you want to take on new challenges, you have learned enough skills, you want to contribute rather than set on a complaining mode. Point number three, avoid bad mouthing. This is not really a sales ethics to badmouth our competition or competitors, because we just want to stay neutral, professional, and positive throughout the interview. Point four, do not beat around the bush, because there were times when we will be asked questions that we are not very sure how to answer, or we take a little bit longer to answer the questions. So just be honest about it if you really don't have the answer, rather than trying to evade the question, because you're going to gain respect when you are truthful and realistic in certain extent, and that will cast a better impression than trying to beat around the bush. If you're not sure, it is always good to clarify the question again. Point number five, never jump into conclusion. So sometimes when the interviewer were asking some questions, you try to deduce, or you try to think ahead and think that this is maybe what he's trying to say, and you jump into conclusion and offer information and answers that are not granted. Avoid doing that, because this is actually one of the important skill sets in sales, is that we don't jump into conclusion when we go for a client meeting. We want to make sure that we are clear with what the client is trying to say. So making assumptions without validating, it is actually kind of dangerous and not a really desired trait in salespeople. The next point I would like to bring across is that do not script your interview answers. While I had emphasized in the previous video about having good preparation for the different types of interviewers you meet, potential questions that will be asked, of course it's good to prepare, but don't memorize the script, because it's going to come out as artificial, it's not going to be conversational, and it also casts a wrong impression that maybe this person is not able to think on the feet. So thinking on the feet, being authentic and critical thinking are some of the key skills that you will be assessed during an interview. 7, do not make assumption that the interview will not overrun. So the best is before the interview, you ask the interviewer or the organizer who's arranging it, how long will the interview process take, whether it's 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So why it's important not to make assumption that interviews may overrun is because you want to have sufficient preparation, like go to the washroom, first before the interview so you will not get distracted. Some things like the details of drinking enough water, because don't make assumption that you will be offered water. Sometimes the interviewer may not have it available or would have missed out this kind of small details. Last but not least, point 8 is prepare your documents. It's also to check out from the scheduler, the interviewer, what are the documents that you need to bring, and even though some may not be flagged out, like for example, a hard copy of your resume, the form, the certificates, and other testimonials. And at any one point in time, depending on how the interview flows, you may want to just do a quick flash to show the actual document itself. But of course, that being said, now interviews are conducted and a lot of things are in the e-copy. There is nothing that's going to make it not to your advantage if you had a hard copy ready by your side. I hope you have gotten some really good tips on what are the mistakes that you could avoid before an interview. And with that, I wish you best of luck.